This game was bonkers, and it was bonkers before the Michael Dickson thing happened.
By the way, before you get to the double,
okay, yeah.
The final score was 26.
Heyo.
What is on your mind, Brent? Your dog's in your office with you, and this is the slip up you're having?
What were they watching?
I even made a point to say, when we were talking about Chris Carson on HQ today, I made a point to say herniated disc. Because you don't want to have the Steve Lee situation happen. 26-17 Rams over Seahawks. And there was, as Breech dreams about, a double punt.
The double punt. So if you have not seen a replay of this, you absolutely need to go on Twitter, go on YouTube, go somewhere and go to my Twitter page. I tweeted it out. You have to see this clip. This could have put the game away. This came in the second half. The Seahawks had the ball and they were trailing. What were they trailing? They're trailing 16-7.
Right, I'm not sure the single punt would have put it away, but there was a double punt in front of the line of scrimmage.
Well, no, hold on. Let me finish. So the Rams block the punt. If the Rams recover it at like the Seahawks 8-yard line and score, it's game over.
Breech, by the way, just let me know quickly. Jameer Jones blocked the punt, recently cut by the Steelers, so they don't need him.
Clearly, the Steelers do not need a guy who knows how to block punts because they are very successful right now. You're correct, Wilson. So it is. So the Seahawks are punting. Jameer Jones blocks this punt. If the Rams recover it, they're at like the 10-yard line for Seattle. They're going to get at least a field. The game is over because the Seahawks were already trailing 16-7 at that point. And you know what? Instead, Michael Dickson picks it up, thinks about running for the first down, then says, I'm the slowest guy on the field right now. Hell no, I'm not running for this first down. So he punts it again, his second punt on the play, and it goes 68 yards and lands at the Rams' 11-yard line. So instead of getting the ball at Seattle's 10-yard line, all of a sudden the Rams get it at their own 11. But this caused total chaos because nobody knew if a double punt was legal. Mike Pereira is – go, Brinson.
No, I was actually Breech. I know I don't want to put you on the spot here, but
we already asked.
I would assume that this is the single greatest double punt of all time.
Oh, I can't even think of another instance. I was like combing through the rule book. I've never looked up the double punt in the NFL rule book. And so you have
Mike Pereira. Mike Pereira was like, obviously that's illegal, Joe. He can't do that. It's going to be a foul. It's coming back. And they come back. They're like, it is first down, Rams ball on the 4-yard line, or they may take a 10-yard penalty. Sean McVay was so confused. He didn't know. And we love to bash Prisco in here. Sean McVay didn't know he could have challenged it, that he was beyond the line of scrimmage and would have forced them to, it would have been a penalty for an illegal forward.
So hold on. So this keeps going. So hold on. So when they threw the flag, they said, either the Seahawks can punt over or the Rams can have 10 yards added on to where the ball landed at the 11-yard line. So then they would have the ball at the 21. If you're the Rams, you would have picked for them to punt over. But then they waved off the flag. They said, this isn't a penalty, and it's your ball, LA. And the reason they waved off the flag, Brinson, go.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah. So clearly there was someone in the ref's ear saying, all right, we just went through our own rule book. We didn't even know this rule existed, but this is not a penalty, and you're waving off the flag.
But again, I don't want to give Pete Prisco credit, but he was right. The flag, the initial flag was for the double kick,
right?
Which was illegal. They thought was illegal, but he actually did go past the line of scrimmage and kick the ball.
No,
so he should have challenged it, which would have moved it back, right?
If he had challenged it, I do not think he would have won. I think Michael Dickson did this punt legally. So the line of scrimmage was the 21-yard line. I shared this picture with you guys in Slack, and I shared it.
Up a dunk for Pete right here. Go ahead.
I shared it on Twitter. So it is like everybody knows the quarterback rule. If they just have a finger behind the line of scrimmage, they are legally behind the line of scrimmage, and the pass counts. So their whole body could be past the line of scrimmage, but if their hand is behind it at the release point, and the same rule applies to punters. So if any part of the punter's body is behind the line of scrimmage, so Dickson's kicking foot was clearly in front of the line of scrimmage, but his body was like leaning backwards because he had kind of picked it up. And so I think that, and there was a ref right there staring down the line of scrimmage, and I do think he was actually behind the line of scrimmage by about 2 inches.
After the game, Sean McVay actually said, he was asked about it, of course.
Oh, right. Before you continue, just to be clear, Pete Prisco was dead wrong, right?
Oh, what a big jam! Wallace took it in his hands and said, up and away, Dipsy-doo, Dunkaroo.
All right, you got it?
Yep.
Yeah, Sean was asked about it after the game, and he said they called New York, and that's why they threw the flag initially, and then they picked it up because whoever replaced our guy Al Riveron somehow knew this rule that you tweeted out that Debo has on YouTube if you're watching right now. And Sean McVay, like everyone else on planet Earth, including Breech, who in confidence said he didn't know the rule. He said, I didn't know what the hell was going on there. And not only that, we got the ball at the -10, which is insane. You mentioned the 68-yard punt. But Breech, you're actually underselling how athletic Michael Dickson is. You said he was the slowest. I would wager that he was probably one of the 5 fastest people on the field. He's a great athlete. He picked up a ball that was spinning like a top with one hand, thought about running it, and then boomed it like a college kicker, Aussie-style kicker, on the run 68 yards later. I mean,
what percent of the population in America can pick up a blocked kick and re-punt it? It's like 1%, maybe.
I was going to say, before Brinson had to get that point in, he might have been that game's MVP.
If the Seahawks win, absolutely, because that would have saved the game.
Question, Wilson. Sure.
Well, it would have absolutely saved the game if that would have happened. And it was just absolutely crazy. And so what is illegal, though? And I think this, because there was just so much confusion about the rule. If Dickson had, say, hit the punt, say a low punt, right, and it got tipped at the line of scrimmage by by the Rams, right, by one of the defensive linemen who were not rushing, but it was just a low punt, and it got batted back to him, and then he picked it up and punted it, that would have been illegal because it crossed the line. It can't cross the line of scrimmage and come back. And so that's where the double punt becomes illegal.
I think it's idiotic to be able to punt the ball twice anywhere on the field. I think it's a dumb rule because why would this happen? So knowing that, what happens if the second punt got blocked? Can he pick it up and punt it again behind the line of scrimmage?
You can punt it as many times as you want, as long as the ball never crosses the line of scrimmage.
All right, so hypothetically, Dickson goes to punt the second time. Someone who's in play legally comes flying in, swats it back. Could the long snapper pick it up and then punt it to the right side of the field?
I think so, right?
I believe. I'm not sure if a different player. I think yes. I would say yes.
So as long as you're not.
Are there eligibility rules for the punter?
The effed up thing about the NFL is there are people like there's a decent chance Roger Goodell didn't know this rule.
No one knew it.
Oh, no one knew it, and he runs the league.
Well, I will give Roger a break. He ain't in charge of the rules. The fact that Mike Pereira didn't know it is that's not a great look.
And the fact that it took 10 minutes for the officials to sort all this out. They had the officials on the field had no clue what was going on.
Right.
And in Mike Pereira's defense, have you ever had a Tito's and soda?
Could you say?
Mike Pereira like slams Tito's all day long.
Well, I don't want to. I don't know.
Fox does a Mike Pereira's like Tito's Lounge thing.
I don't want to besmirch the man's name.
He's doing free advertising for Tito's. That's what he's doing, Ryan.
Yeah, we're trying to get a Tito's.
Big
6 podcast, Ryan. Anyway,